Fam, to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. Let's get it. In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest Bitcoin technical analysis. I'll also be sharing the 5 things to watch out for in the Bitcoin market this week. We'll also be discussing Bitcoin rent agreements as landlord and tenant sign the first Bitcoin contract. We'll also be discussing BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, dropping the ultimate boomer Bitcoin ETF ad as their marketing blitz continues to ramp up. We'll also be discussing the latest prediction from Max Keiser of $220,000 in play. We'll also be discussing a massive prediction coming from one of the largest asset managers in the world, which is Fidelity. In fact, we'll be discussing, can Bitcoin realistically achieve their $1 billion Bitcoin price target? I'll be breaking down this timeline. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more in today's show. Now, welcome crypto fam. What it do? Happy Monday. How was your weekend? Holla at your boy. Do note this is a live and interactive stream, so let me know where you're tuning in from as well, family. Shout out to everyone in the live chat. First and foremost, are we loud, clear, and smooth? A little quick check, let me know. Shout out to Jason, Kepler, Tom, Zero, Rave, Rambo, Crypto Surge, Sailing with Twins, South Africa in the building. Please stand up. Boomer ETF, Face Melters. Let's get it. Jennifer, Concrete, always a pleasure. Appreciate your family. Waco, Texas in the building. Good afternoon, Mr. Bone Daddy. Elaine at the airport going back to Canada from El Salvador. How was your trip to El Salvador? Are you looking to turn that into a permanent residence? Let me know. What's the inside scoop? Word up, Brighton, UK. Shout out to Matt, Freddie G in the building. What up, Rev? What up, Maine? Sounds perfect. Appreciate that, Zero. England in the building. Shout out to my UK brethren and broskies. Sounds great. Appreciate that. Coachella, Cali in the building. Shout out Gains Knowledge. Loud and clear. Cali, loud and clear. Nothing but California love for you. Calgary, El Salvador soon. Let's go, KBS. 43 Gs seems to be resistance. We're right back in the green, family. Did you expect anything else? I mean, after a $6,000 correction, it's long overdue. I think we're going to continue marching back towards 50,000. According to the high priest, ultimately, it's the Vanguard CEO's fault for flooding Bitcoin with their anti-Bitcoin campaign. And he said it may derail Bitcoin for 2 weeks before we hit 50,000. But you know it's inevitable, especially considering we have a Bitcoin halving only 90 days out. Upstate New York, let's go. Been listening to Shady all day. Fish been rocking for a change. That's what's up, family. Everyone's wallet's cold today. Amsterdam in the building. Smoke some good Chiba for me, fam. Loud and clear, Plum Nelly MS. Thank you. Shout out Brian James. Welcome. Melbourne, Australia in the building. What up, Mick King? What it do? Passive. Good to see you, family. Waco, Texas. Stand up. Yes. Zero is 17 in Texas. What the frick? It's 76 in South Florida. How is that even possible? Crazy, right? It's also hot here. Sunny day in Puerto Rico, probably 90 degrees. Serge says glitching. Is it glitching for anyone else? Let me know. Appreciate the insights. Jennifer, appreciate the super, says don't see the join button. Typically, it would be right next to the subscribe button. Also, there's a direct link. I think it's members.cryptonewsalerts.net. Try the direct link and you should be able to become a member again. I appreciate that. Thank you for the super, Jennifer, and thanks for all your continued support. Loud and clear, bro. That's what's up. All good. Yeah, so Serge, just try refreshing because the stream is good on my end, on my external device as well. We're smooth and clear. Good for everyone else. No glitching. Good to note. Love the hat. Thank you. Got to represent, support Bukele 2024 to be reelected. Big year this year for Bitcoin, not just, in the United States, but also across the world as Bitcoin is global. Drew Webb, no glitches. Good to note. The glitches in the matrix. Stop looking at the lady in the red dress. Ha, 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 ha. Snowing in Tennessee? Word. Do you like the snow? I hope you do, considering you're living there. No glitch, says Passive. I'll cheers to that. I got my kombucha. What's up, man? Let's go. Abel's predicting 50,000 by Tuesday. Let me know if you guys realistically think we're going to hit 50,000 this month of January. If you're convinced we're going to hit 50 Gs, put a 1 in the live chat. No 50 Gs, put a 2. I'd love to know your feedback, family. Let's see the consensus here in the chat. We appreciate it. We're live streaming right now. I'm live in Puerto Rico. It's January 15th at 4:06 p.m. Eastern here. Let me know. One, if you feel 50,000 coming down the pipeline this month within the next 2 weeks before we hit February, my birth year. What up, OG Backroad Crypto Bootleg? Good to see you, fam. Hunter Biden likes the snow. He sure does, Zero. Someone recently asked them at a press conference, what kind of crack do you prefer? 11111, we got a 2. 11111, 11111, 11111, we got a 2. Med Dad, Me Dad, 2 from J Box, 2 from Cool Cat Crypto, but mostly ones. 111, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1. So mixed bag. I'd say probably 70% of you right now believe we're going to hit 50 G's this month. So send it. Keep the comments flowing, family. Here's a little feedback from Mr. Sailor.
Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay. What's the second best? There is no second best. There's no second best crypto asset.
Yeah, 111. Keep it coming, family. Any thoughts on crypto action today with the U.S. market being closed? Oh, that's right. Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day, family. First and foremost, it is a national holiday. All the banks and post offices are closed here in Puerto Rico as well. So happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day, family. Big day today. Yes, the markets, I would imagine, are closed then. So good point, family. Don't get me wrong. I want to do it. I just think we have a clear chance of going down for a while before the skyrocket up and everyone FOMOs in. Appreciate your insight, Zero. When's your birthday? My birthday is February 11th. Me and my daughter share the same birthday. What a blessing. She was born in 2014. I was born in 1983 on Feb 11th. Aquarius in the building. Greg, 1, 50% of us. Serge, 1, 2, 2. Me Dad, 1+1.5. B Chem, what up? Also see a dead cat bounce incoming. On what chart are we referring to? What time frame? Hoping for the best? Yes. Focus on the cycle play. Ignore the grayscale noise. Amen. Watching from Cornwall, England. Shout out Fairground Fun Fairs UK in the building. Send it to 1 billion, please. Amen. Adaptive. That's what we're trying to do here. Maldor, 3 to the moon. Rocket ship, get on board. The 12th here. Right on. Drew Webb. I have a dream that Bitcoin becomes a global currency. Cheers to that. I appreciate you, Tony. What's up, fam? Shout out to Keith Hunt. 50K is knocking on the door. Don't hold and don't panic sell. Oh, hold and yes, that's right. Hodl and don't panic sell. Waiting for the Saudi UA oil money. Where's our boy Muhammad at? He may have to give a call to his cousins over there in Saudi Arabia. February 28th, 84. Very similar birth date to mine there, Zero. I'm a year older than you. So you're about to turn the big 4-0. I'm about to turn the big 4-1. I don't mind it dropping. Sold a bit up top, so want to buy more. So sailing. I am tired of these predictions. Let's just get to $200,000 already. We will be discussing $220,000 here in the short term, as per the high priest, of course. Yeah, dead cat bounce on the 1 hour chart, also on the 4 hour. Thank you, sailing. We'll be tapping into some TA here in a little bit as the markets start pumping. Once again, Bitcoin recovered above 43 G's, baby. Let's go. Yeah, 50 G's on your B-Day, JV. Send it. I'll celebrate to that. Bitcoin is on sale, BTFD. There's always a silver lining. Bitcoiners always winning, family. Mine's too, the real 211s. You for real gains knowledge. February 11th or in a different month? Let me know. Giga Chad said Bitcoin to 5 million. Well, much respect to the Giga Chad because you already know.
There's a crypto asset. It's called Bitcoin, right? Right? There's no second best, okay? But take all your money, buy Bitcoin. Then take all your time, figure out how to borrow more money to buy more Bitcoin.
Shout out Rachel, love and blessings, fam. Namaste. Come on, Habibis from Saudi, pour the oil money into Bitcoin, and let's put this up to 150 G's. Send it broadcast. I don't like cats anyways. Yeah, Nipsey is not a big fan of cats. He loves chasing them. Little like iguanas or cats, he goes crazy over. Can't maintain himself. I do have it back. Right on. Good to note, Jennifer. Congratulations, fam. At what level would you buy? I think Bitcoin is always worth buying. If you're going to be hodling for the long haul, what's the alternative? You have gold as a store of wealth, which can be confiscated. So therefore, there is no second best. There is no alternative. Bitcoin is in a league of its own. So if you understand that concept and you treat Bitcoin like a savings account and you're looking to hodl for at least 2 cycles, 8 years or longer, it's a no-brainer. You just buy Bitcoin regardless of what the price is. That's the strategy of MicroStrategy and Michael Saylor, and it's been working out quite well. I think they're up now over $3 billion. You know what I mean? So if you're a baby genius, you know you just buy always. exactly. 10th of June, 1958, but still look 40. Shout out Silas. I appreciate your family. That's what's up. It's cool. And I think what's awesome about Bitcoin, it brings all generations together. We have people here on the stream right now in their 20s, and we have people in their 70s and everything in between. So time is irrelevant, fam. One Bitcoin still equals one Bitcoin. Stack sats accordingly. Amen, family. But without further ado, let's get this mofo on the road. If you're new to the channel, be sure to smash that subscribe button to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, just like this. And a quick shout out to Jennifer. I appreciate you becoming a member of the MicroStrategy and supporting the channel. Also, a quick shout out to Beckham. I appreciate your super. This is your very first super ever sent live and on stream. Greatly appreciate all the support. It truly humbles me. Much love, much respect. But anyways, family, I also want to mention it's also important to smash the like and hit the bell icon to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day and actually get notified, because YouTube is notorious for not notifying subscribers when I go live. So make sure to turn on all notifications by hitting the bell. It also helps out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. Also, shout out to Robbie Keiser. I appreciate becoming a member of the show. Massive shout out to Todd Ferris. He just gifted 5 MicroStrategy memberships to the following people: Robbie Keiser, Freddie G, Matt Lenyon, Tony, and Gains Knowledge. You have all been blessed with a free membership of the channel, the gift that keeps on giving. So shout out to Todd Ferris. Greatly appreciate all your support, broski. Much love, much respect. But let's kick it off with our market watch, as we do each and every day. As you can see here on your screen, we got Bitcoin back above 43,100. We have Ether trading above 2,500, while BNB, XRP, Solana, and Cardano all back in the green. They say when in doubt, just zoom out. And zooming out on the monthly, we can see Bitcoin still up almost 3%, Ether up 14%, BNB up 30%, and Solana up 33%. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, the current crypto market cap sits at 1.67 trillion. We're experiencing extreme volatility. It goes up, it goes down. Enjoy the roller coaster. We have roughly 59 billion in volume for the past 24 hours. And yeah, that means it's up 37%. And the Bitcoin dominance is still on the decline at 49.7%, with the Ether dominance continuing to climb at 18.1%. How high do you think this Bitcoin dominance is likely to climb for this bull cycle for 2024, 2025? Let me know your thoughts, family. It'll be interesting to read those out loud. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers of the past 24 hours, we got Flare leading the pack, up 30%, followed by Blur, up 13%, followed by SUI, up 11%. Below that, Beam, Say, Chili's, and Tezos. Now, which altcoins are you most bullish on for this bull run? Please do let me know in the comments right down below. And checking out the crypto bubbles to get a visual perspective of the overall crypto market. We got a lot of gainers, the majority back in the green as the market cap continues pumping. Some of the top are PLS up 24%, Hex up 17%, Blur 14%, and SEI up 10%. And zooming out on the monthly, massive gainers, some up over 100%, including Hex, PLS, SEI, ENS, and SUI. So there you have it, my crypto fam. And checking out the crypto greed and fear index, we're finally back in neutral. We were in greed, and I even think we touched extreme greed not too long ago, but we're back at a 52 neutral. Yesterday, a 60, last week a 71, and last month, a 67 in greed. So there you have it, my crypto fam. Welcome everyone just joining the stream. Thoughts on Stellar? I know that was a fork, I believe, from XRP. Typically when XRP runs, XLM and XRP tend to do their own thing. No cryptocurrency, only Bitcoin is the king maker. Cheers to that, Mr. Laser. Buy Polkadot, Pocket Network. No thanks, me later, says Lo-Fi Cat. Did you see Richard Hart is apparently suing the SEC? No way. I know the SEC was looking for him, so is he really suing them? This is very interesting. Keep me posted on that. Freddie G, the bull run, 100,000 at least. Send it, let's get it. How would you DCA into Bitcoin in 2024 if you had a fixed amount to buy for the year? I mean, that's all depending upon you. Some people like to use all the stash they have coming in to buy and just keep dollar cost averaging. Some people like to maybe accumulate and wait for a major dip. I mean, there's no right or wrong, because timing the market could be extremely annoying and difficult at the same time. But if you dollar cost average over time, it's going to be just an average. And more than likely, you're going to be winning if you're holding for 4 years or longer, because that's what history shows us. Every Bitcoin hodler, 4 years or longer, is in the green. So you got to wait at least a cycle. 500K before the end of 2025. And also keep in mind, you can't lose what you don't sell. So one Bitcoin will always be equivalent to one Bitcoin. If Bitcoin temporarily goes down, for example, if you bought at the top at 69,000, you still didn't lose nothing unless you sell at a loss. So that's why we say, HODL be thy name. Shout out to XBAT. I appreciate your super family, says greetings all. Thank you for supporting the stream. Back on the pump, 50 G's for my birthday. Send it, Jennifer. I'm with you on that. Drew Webb is bullish on Bitcoin, Solana, and Matic. Dude, are you related to Bullzilla? You and him brothers or what? Not that I'm aware of. I only have one broski, and it's not him. Broski is killing it. Cheers, gratefulness. Dead serious, says Keith Hunt. Please refrain from posting links, says Streamlabs. And my apologies if a comment got blocked and you didn't post the link. Sometimes Streamlabs has a mind of its own. That's our moderator bot. Typically does a good job, but every once in a while, I got to slap them around. You know what I mean? I'm late. What up, homie? Shout out Dirty. Appreciate you. Sold some ETH the other day. What'd you sell it for US dollars? Did you sell it for a stable coin? Did you sell it for altcoins? Or did you trade it for Bitcoin? Let me know. I got out of spending my cash on alcohol, and now I just buy biddies. Smart man. I'll drink to that. Kombucha, that is. Much love and respect for avoiding alcohol. It's poison to the body, and putting it into the most appreciative asset in humankind, the greatest savings to ever exist, the best insurance policy, the best hedge against inflation, the best hedge against deflation, you know what I mean? The best hedge from corrupt government tyrants and all that good stuff. You know what I mean? Hey, brothers, with the dude from the Alpha, the YouTube channel. Shout out Simon. I appreciate you, family. Any other Aquarius here? I want my birthday Omega candle. Arvin, I appreciate you subbing to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. We now have 500 people on the stream, and we're just getting started. So pump the likes, help pump the stream. We appreciate it, family.
And take all your time and figure out what you can sell to buy Bitcoin. And if you absolutely love the thing that you don't want to sell it, go mortgage your house and buy Bitcoin with.
Boom. BTC, baby. It'll slowly move up and explode after the halving. I agree with that sentiment, Denmark. I appreciate tuning into the live stream. Pepe's Water Park or Peepees? Is that the name of your water park, Keith? Hard money preach. JV, I'm pretty new to crypto. Is the Coinbase wallet considered self-custody? No. Well, let me correct myself. Coinbase has their own alternative wallet outside the exchange you can download, which would be considered a hot wallet, like you can download it on your phone. So that would be considered self-custody. However, cold storage is a level of self-custody that's more secure than a hot wallet, such as the Coinbase wallet on your phone. So I recommend cold storage, as it is the most secure way to store your Bitcoin. And that would be a little device such as a Trezor, Blockstream Jade. There's quite a lot of options out there now, but that would be self-custody. In my opinion, if you're a large hodler of crypto, self-custody is the only option. If you're just dibble-dabbling a few $100 and you keep it on the exchange, what's the big deal? You know what I mean? At the end of the day. So it's all dependent upon you guys. Let me know what you think. Try to open Coinbase account and they put a $0 limit on my account and denied an increase. That sucks. Back for more. Clearly don't watch South Park, says Keith Hunt. I watched South Park when I was like in 6th grade. I remember like Mr. Hanky, the Christmas Pooh, and some classics, but yo, I haven't been watching for the past 30 years. I'll keep it 100. Say no to KYC, BTC. Amen, Joey. Under Darby is okay. The great thing about Coinbase is they report it to the US or the IRS. They sure do. That's why they collect your KYC, family. So ultimately, US government can't control Bitcoin in self-custody. So what do? They control the on-ramps and the off-ramps, because that's all they have control over at the end of the day. I use the Tangent wallet, says Drew Webb. That's another recommended wallet a lot of people love. Coin BRC20, that's right. Those are Bitcoin blockchain tokens. Cool, thank you. You're very welcome, Frank. Cheers, family. What's good? And if you're just tuning into the stream, be sure to pump the likes, help pump the stream. We're going to dive into our next story of the day, discuss some Bitcoin technical analysis, check out the charts where the Bitcoin price action is likely to go next. So how you see it here, Bitcoin defends key price level 6 times is 44,000 next. Shout out to all my Bitcoin Jedis out there rocking the lightsabers as well. You know what I mean? Bitcoin price experienced moderate volatility the night of January 14th as the price plunged to 41,690, paring 3% in the early hours of January 15th. But more interestingly, this was the 6th time that 41.8 support was tested in less than a month. Traders now question if the latest movement is a sign of strength and what the drivers for a potential rally above 44,000 can be. Let's break it down. Some analysts attribute the price of Bitcoin's 9.1% correction on January 12th to the Bitcoin miner outflows, as CryptoQuant reported nearly $1 billion worth of Bitcoin sent to the exchanges, which is now a 6-year high. Investors fear that the Bitcoin hash rate, which has increased by 44% in the past 6 months, will force the miners to sell coins at a much higher pace, including their hodling position. Now, digital asset manager CoinShares predicts the average Bitcoin mining cost after the April 2024 halving will surge to $37,800. CoinShares report encompasses 19% of the current Bitcoin mining hash power and estimates that only 5 out of the 14 companies under analysis will remain profitable after the halving. In essence, traders have reason to believe the Bitcoin miners' outflows to exchange should continue. Now, Bitcoin price is relatively flat in the 30 days ending January 15th, meaning the spot Bitcoin ETF debut on January 11th had little impact, at least on the longer time frame. That's right, short term we saw mad volatility. I mean, we did touch roughly 49,000, which is the new 22-month high, and then we collapsed to the 41 range shortly after, and now we're climbing back up at roughly 43,000 at the time of the live stream. Now, curiously, both the S&P 500 futures and the gold price in the US dollar are up 0.5% in that same period. And in fact, Bitcoin's 50-day correlation to the US stock market in gold has been high for the past month. Notice how Bitcoin's price 50-day correlation versus gold has been above 65% since November and above 75% relative to the S&P 500 futures for the past 3 weeks. Those numbers drastically vary over time, but the latest data signal that the macroeconomic drivers affected traditional assets in Bitcoin is in a similar way. For instance, Germany, Europe's largest economy, announced January 15th today an adjusted 0.1% gross domestic product contraction in 2023 versus the previous year. And more concerningly, Germany's economy ministry mentioned on January 15th that the current early indicators do not signal a quick economic recovery, and they announced that to Reuters. In the U.S. inflation, it remains the biggest source of concern for the CPI index, which grew 3.4% in November. And according to Rubila, the chief economist at High Frequency Economics, these readings support the U.S. Fed's view that the policy stance should remain restrictive for some time. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that. So in short, investors realize that it might take longer than anticipated for the central banks to effectively reduce interest rates, causing investors to favor fixed income investments. And on one side, there's a prospect of the U.S. issuing trillion-dollar stimulus packages due to its budget constraint. But on the other, the inflationary pressure limits the central bank's ability to lower the interest rates. Now let's discuss Bitcoin futures data, no longer bullish. To understand whether Bitcoin investors have flipped bearish, one should analyze the Bitcoin futures premium, also known as the basis rate. Professional traders prefer to monthly contracts due to the absence of a funding rate. In neutral markets, these instruments trade at a premium of 5 to 10% to account for their extended settlement period. And here in this chart, you can see the Bitcoin 2-month futures annualized premium. Now, data reveals that the Bitcoin futures premium stabilized at 9% under the neutral threshold, as opposed to the bullish momentum that lasted until January 12th. Now, while far from a bearish structure, which would require an annualized premium below 5%, it becomes evident that Bitcoin investors are no longer expecting its price to jump in the short term. One might never find out what exactly triggered the correction of 41,690, and it might as well be related to BlackRock CEO Larry Fink calling the spot Bitcoin ETF a mere stepping stone to tokenization of real-world assets, which is definitely not beneficial for the Bitcoin price in the short term. Fink also recently commented on Bitcoin that, "I don't believe it's ever going to be a currency. I believe it is an asset class." Now, me personally, I don't believe that's why we dumped. I think there's more sinister stuff going on behind the scenes, which we're going to dive into a little bit in the show. But I also want to read you this. When in doubt, zoom out. Add on back shares here. Bitcoin chart looks pretty good. Zoomed out a bit. Preach. Let's not forget, family, November of 2021, I believe it was on the 10th, we hit the 69,000 current all-time high. You know, Bitcoin may have touched the bottom of roughly 15,700. But guess what? We're making our way back and we're still above 43,000 and we're still up roughly 160% from the start of last year. So never forget that, family. When in doubt, just zoom out. And as Plan B shares here, creator of the Bitcoin stock to flow model, Bitcoin is on track despite the ETF sell the news event. And if you're not familiar with the stock to flow, it ultimately predicts a gap of Bitcoin ranging between $100,000 and $1 million per coin between 2024, the halving date, which is in April, 3 months out, and 2028. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the stock to flow model. And now let's read some more of your comments before we dive into the 5 things to watch out for in the Bitcoin market this week. Welcome everyone just joining the stream. Larry Fink, buy me a house, right? Do you know how wealthy BlackRock is? You ever put into perspective like $10 trillion in assets under management? Do you know how much real estate they own? Do you know how many of the companies in the S&P 500 they own? You know what I mean? Now, check this out. Remember all the FUD with Vanguard? They're like anti-Bitcoin. They say it's against their ethos and their ethics. Well, guess what? Vanguard is the second largest holder of MicroStrategy stocks. They own, and I'll bring up the chart in a little bit, but correct me if I'm wrong, but I think in the 8% range. So Vanguard owns 8% of MicroStrategy. So bet your bottom dollar they have indirect exposure to BTC. So all of these mofos that have been fudding Bitcoin for years, from Larry Fink, once he called it a index for money laundering, the Jamie Dimons, who is the CEO of JP Morgan Chase, who is now listed as an authorized participant with BlackRock and are stacking sats. They continue to FUD Bitcoin, but behind closed doors, they're extremely bullish on it. These are the fraudsters and the hucksters you need to watch out for. So never listen to what they say. They're masters of deception. You need to watch what they do, and that's what we uncover here on the pod. We read between the lines. We know what these mofos are truly up to. If we're seeing the halving as another sale of the news event, could we see a double bottom? Well, history shows us every halving, we moon, and we typically add a 0 to the end of the price action. So you run the math. A 0 from today's price would take Bitcoin from 43,000 to 40,000. A 0 from the all-time high back in November of 2021 from 69,000 would take us to 690,000. Just saying, surreal life like you. Where do you anticipate Bitcoin and ETH in the summertime, end of the year? Man, that's a great question. I think ETH has a lot of potential to do 10,000 plus this year. And I think Bitcoin has all the potential in the world to hit 6 figures. What do you guys think? That means my bear estimate is 100,000 for Bitcoin and 10,000 for ETH. But let me know your thoughts. Let's go, JV. Shout out Erico. What it do? Bitcoin to 100 G's. Send it that. What are you trying to tell me? Sell my Bitcoin. I am saying when the time comes, you won't have to, Morpheus. Amen, Tony. You got that right. Forget what they say. See the chess moves being made. That's right. This is a game of chess, and most people are playing checkers, so it's not even fair. The game is rigged. I am bullish on Bitcoin, but these exaggerated numbers are ridiculous, says Frank the Tank Degen. 600K? Let's go, says Mark. This is the cycle where the world FOMO's in. Amen. Saudis, where you at? Qatar, sovereign wealth fund sitting on $500 billion. Where you at? You gonna let BlackRock front run you guys? Come on now. Handle, hodl, shout out to my diamond hands. Shout out C-Dog, I appreciate that. Add that 0, that's what's up. And Jennifer, your light blue color badge is looking very sexy right now, so I appreciate you supporting the channel, family. Month number 2. Trezor or the Blockstream Jade? Great question. I don't think there's a wrong answer. In all honesty, I'd suggest ordering them both. Why not? Just an additional, what do they call it? Swiss bank account that's unconfiscatable. Test them both out, see what you prefer. Maybe diversify, you know what I mean? If 450 is the top of the cycle, it's gonna be 100K at the bottom of the cycle. There you go, Joey, I love it. 100K bottom, send it. Smash those likes, cheers Raven. I'll toast to that. Some wise words from Mr. Saylor.
And if you've got a business that you love because your family works for the business, it's in your family for 37 years, and you can't bear to sell it, mortgage it, finance it, and convert the proceeds into the hardest money on earth, which is Bitcoin.
Hey, Saylor's up $3 billion on his Bitcoin investment for MicroStrategy. and he's actually buying Bitcoin every day for the next 120 days, selling a little bit of MicroStrategy stock each and every day before his stock options expire. So massive buyer, Mr. Sailor. Everything is controlled. Preach Casey Nelson. 125 in 2024, 400K in 2025. Send it. I look good in light blue. You sure do, Jennifer. I dig it. Missed ETH at 250. Ouch. Still buying today. Let's go. Just hodl. Watch the rich get richer. There is no second best. Over the last week, Bitfarms held up better than every other miner, just saying. But all the miners will kick in once Bitcoin begins to run again. Cheers, Nate. I appreciate the insights. Lots of sexy in here, JB. You already know. Very sexy. 400,000 Bitcoin. Let's go. Send it. What's going on, Trini? Good to see you. But anyways, fam, we have a lot to cover. It's already 30 minutes into the stream. Time flies. So let's discuss the 5 things to watch out for in the Bitcoin market this week, shall we? Here we go. And maybe I'll skip through some things. This is typically a very lengthy piece, but we'll just touch upon the headlines. Bearish Bitcoin price targets faster post ETF dip. We kind of already discussed. We can potentially see back to 38,000 as a bottom, or the bottom may already be in, and we may continue climbing back up, surpassing 44, with 50 being the next major psychological resistance. Quoting an analyst here, these are all early signs that the bulls are positioning for another retest of resistance, watching the weekly close for more clues. SKU Analytics points out on the 1-hour chart, nice bounce thus far, looking for further confirmations. Confirmations for a rally higher, reclaim the consolidation lows, 42.5. RSI, Relative Strength Index, above 50, trade yearly open as support. On the 4-hour, we got the 200 EMA reclaim. So there you have it. And Matthew Highland shares, Bitcoin looking like a lower path is more likely after testing the 48,000 area. Still a chance to rebound here, however, but the odds are favoring the mid-30s currently. So let me know if you feel likely to correct a little lower or continue pumping back. The next factor to keep your eyes out on this week, the market see Fed cuts in March despite the CPI overshoot, which we kind of already touched upon. Quoting the Keiser letter, there it is, folks. Markets are now expecting a rate cut at every meeting in 2024 beginning in March. That's right, 7 straight interest rate cuts this year, as pointed out here, to bring the Fed funds rate down to 3.5 to 3.75% in December and continuing on. Meanwhile, the Fed's latest guidance showed 3 cuts in 2024, and officials are questioning if March is too soon to start. Buckle up, because it's going to be a wild year. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that sentiment. And the next factor to keep your eyes on this week, Bitcoin speculators panic sell nearly $5 billion in a single day. That's right. For many, ETF week ultimately became a week of selling, not buying. Despite institutions finally having a chance to add Bitcoin exposure, the price action showed the psychological impact of volatility in classic style. The 50,000 mark was too much for the bulls, with the whales lining up to distribute to the latecomers, while the reversal towards 40,000 saw significant panic. This was evident in the proportion of Bitcoin being sold for less than it was purchased. According to data from Glassnode on January 12th, this reached 88,000 BTC, worth almost $4 billion. Quoting them here, that is mental, said James Van Straten, research and data analyst of Crypto Slate, noting that the total sales amounted to 111,000 BTC, worth roughly $4.7 billion. Now here in the chart, you can see the Bitcoin transfers from the short-term hodlers and losses to the exchanges. So those are the losers. The short term, are not the smartest. I like to follow the whales and the smart money, because hence why they're the smart money. The sales nonetheless came from the short-term hodlers, entities hodling a given Bitcoin investment up for 155 days. The ETF announcement, it would seem, had speculators reason to buy, hoping that for the upside would result. Glassnode shows that by contrast, long-term hodlers barely reacted to the events. That's what's up, because that's what long-term hodlers do. We're in this for the long haul. So where my diamond's hands at, make some noise. Next factor to keep your eyes out on this week in the Bitcoin market. Bitcoin miners may not see a difficulty drop based on the recent price action. It may thus seem unlikely that Bitcoin would be due yet for another difficulty increase. Estimates, however, say the opposite. At 42.5, Bitcoin mining difficulty is still slated to edge higher by 0.35% this week, according to data from BTC.com. And the most is impressive the move, miners weathered the ETF volatility storm as competition for block subsidies remain extremely robust. And let's not forget, again, we have a Bitcoin halving occurring in 3 months. Quoting Glassnode, Bitcoin fees have now been cut in half from the December high, now sit at the high during the inscription frenzy made back in May. Now, Van Straten noted that will be interesting to see where this levels out and will have an impact on miners moving forward into the halving. Now for the next factor we're going to keep our eyes on this week, Ethereum may be next to return to earth. As Bitcoin suffered post-ETF, it was the largest altcoin Ether, which picked up the slack. ETH BTC made swift gains late last week, while ETH USD reached its highest level since mid-2022. That's right, even at the time of this stream, ETH is still trading above $2,500, which is a price action we ultimately haven't seen in almost 2 years. However, some are sounding the alarm as open interest has mushroomed. Someone say shrooms. The speculative ETH bets may soon become too much to handle. Quoting them here, there is still a looming sword of Damocles, I don't know that word, over the Ethereum market in the form of 1.35 billion in the fresh open interest, according to Crypto Quant. Van Straten, meanwhile, noted a rotation of open interest from Bitcoin towards Ether, leaving the CME Group Bitcoin futures in a backwardation below the spot price. This, he suggests, was due to the excitement over a possible Ethereum ETF, thanks to recent comments from BlackRock CEO Larry Fink. Quoting them here, open interest in the CME is down 13% from the highs, while Ethereum open interest is up 14%. This could ultimately be a buy signal for Bitcoin. What are your thoughts, fam? Let me know in the comments right down below. Welcome everyone just joining the live stream. We appreciate your support, fam. Pump the likes to help pump the stream. We'll get more eyeballs on the channel. 9 years here, says Jennifer. 9 years of hodling Bitcoin, or is that your goal to hodl for 9 years? Let me know. Shrooms and peanut butter. That's all I got to say, Nate. The lettuce hands have been shaken out of the system. Thank God for that. Heroic. Nope, says Emilio. DCA hodl and let's freaking go. Preach. Frank says everyone's screaming diamond hands. Now, how many years? How many years have you bought Bitcoin straight? 3 years over here. That's what's up. For me, it's since 2017, so it's hard to even believe it's been 7 years for JV. Whoa. Crazy, right? It's going to be a decade before you know it. As the halving happens every 4 years, there's a guarantee it is going to be a demand issue. Just grow diamond hands, build a solid foundation, and don't be swayed by paper dollars. Just think outside the box. That's right. Pull a Nipsey. He's living his best life. ETFs don't actually reduce the amount of Bitcoin available in the exchanges. This is why it had basically zero impact on the price. Ask Freddie G. Xanax, better living through. No way. No, say no to pharmaceuticals. In another decade, the phrase diamond hands will be replaced with Bitcoin hands. There you go. Don't let your Bitcoins, don't sell your Bitcoins. There you go. That's the first time I hear lettuce hands. Edward lettuce hands instead of scissor hands. Are ETF wallets public? That's a great question. I think they should be to hold them accountable. I think it should be publicly where we can look up and make sure they're holding the underlying assets which they claim to be, giving to investors, because investors don't really get the assets. They're getting a digital IOU version. So I'd love to see accountability to that. Will they do it? Your guess is as good as mine. I think transparency would be a good start, because we don't trust BlackRock from the beginning. 9 years of hodling took, wow, congrats, Jennifer, 9 years. Took payments in Bitcoin for my dog training when it was around $10 a coin. So you're an OG. Much love, much respect to Jennifer Conkright, obviously doing big things here. Smart. On and off since 2017, and every month I still buy. So 9 years would mean, was that, wow, that's going all the way back to 2013. Incredible. Kudos to you, family. Chili's, big bag. That's what's up. Or 2015, if I'm doing the math correct now. My apologies. Still incredible. Day 6 of no Bitcoin ETF Lambo. Womp womp. Don't trust, verify. 100% with you on that. Trust nobody, verify everything. That's the name of the game, fam.
Bitcoin. What's the second best? There is no second best. There's no second best crypto asset.
The sword of Damocles is a metaphorical expression that represents a constant threat or imminent danger that hangs over someone. Good to note that. Now, how do I pronounce Damocles or Damocles? That's what I need to listen to, the pronunciation. So in the future, if I come across that phrase, I don't sound like an idiot. I still wonder why Grayscale has kept its fees at 1.6% over twice the others. I think because they could, and they have the most volume, and they know that. And they know there's big money to be made there. So they're not competing for fees. Clearly, they don't care for whatever reason. Guru G, I appreciate you subbing to the #1 Daily Bitcoin Pod. How does the ETF price reflect the Bitcoin comparison? It's a good question. Honestly, I'm not an ETF expert, so this is all new to me. Damocles, like glasses. Those damn Oakleys. I can remember that. Damn Oakleys. Thank you, family. No second best. Damocles. I like it. Thank you, Jerry. Damocles nuts. I got it now. Damocles. Thank you, Fairgrounds. Appreciate that. There can only ever be one. There only is one. So after 111 years of controlling money, you think they're going to just step out of the way? Oh, hell no. No, of course not. They're going to try to monopolize Bitcoin to the best of their abilities. That's why it's so important for us diamond hands to not sell and keep it in self-custody, because they're going to try to control the market, and they can confiscate all the Bitcoin in the ETFs in the name of national security. Max Keiser has been blowing the whistle on this. I've been covering it very often here in the channel because nobody else is. Still lots of OTC trading going on over the counter. This will cause a price lag. Damocles. Thank you, Matt. Yeah, your bot censors my post. Sorry to hear that, Track. I don't know what it is. Maybe they're racist, the bot. Racist bot. I don't know what's going on, fam. Damocles. Thank you, Nate. Damocles. But anyways, family, we still got a lot to cover, so keep the stream pumping by pumping the likes and comment. We appreciate all the interaction, but let's dive into Bitcoin rent going on. This is a breaking story. Bitcoin rent agreement. Landlord and tenant sign a Bitcoin contract, and I'm curious, if you were a landlord, would you accept Bitcoin for rent? And vice versa, if you were renting, and would you want to pay for your rent in Bitcoin? Let me know. Because in Rosario, the third most populated city in Argentina, a local landlord and a tenant have sealed a rental agreement where the latter will pay monthly rent in Bitcoin. And according to a report in the local newspaper from January 11th, the contract is the first of its kind in Argentina, made possible by recent law amendments by the new presidential administration. Shout out Javier Milei. The monthly payment under the seal contract will equal $100 in Bitcoin. The tenant will transfer the funds monthly through FeeWind, a local crypto platform. The report highlights that both counterparties to the contract are experienced crypto users. That makes it even cooler. Argentine rental law, along with other parts of the national legal system, were amended by the newly elected President Javier Milei, who won the general election November of last year amid rampant inflation across the country. Now in December last month, Diana Mondino, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, International Trade and Worship, claimed that a decree aimed at economic reform to deregulation would allow the use of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies in the country under certain conditions, and how this was birthed. The government also eased the path to legalizing crypto holdings, even if they're overdue on tax declarations. So under the framework of a regularization scheme, taxpayers would pay a flat tax on assets of 5% if they declare holdings by the end of March 2024, 10% from April, and 15% from July until the end of September. So there you have it. And I'll read your comments. I'm curious how many of you would be interested in that kind of ordeal, using Bitcoin for a contract for a rental agreement. Smash the like, says Serge. We appreciate it. Fairgrounds, like, hit JV. Cheers. You're really a legend. Shout out Terrell Trust. We appreciate you, family. Much love. I can't find the post. What post are you looking for, Surreal? Maybe I can help you. I would love to get paid in Bitcoin at the price on the exchange at the time of the sale and the payment. That's what's up. This is the future. Contract for $100 per month equivalent needs to have a clause for inflation or CPI, but otherwise all good. I'll take the biddies for rent. Amen. I think most landlords would, especially if you're a Bitcoiner. As long as the Bitcoin is pegged to the fiat, it is not good paying rent in Bitcoin. 1 Bitcoin equals 1 BTC. Cheers, Track. I would get paid in Bitcoin. Who wouldn't? Stack those sats. Well said, Jennifer. We appreciate that. And yes, we do have a Discord. Thank you, Streamlabs. For those who want to join our Discord, it's free to do so. It's pretty lit. Feel free to join us. Imagine looking back in 10 years and realizing you could have bought a house with 1 month's rent in Bitcoin. Yeah, Use Strike to get paid in Bitcoin. Yes, that is correct. Shout out to Jack Mullers, the Strike CEO app. You can do things like get paid in Bitcoin or a percentage of your pay in Bitcoin. You can direct deposit right to Bitcoin. You can auto pay. You could do things like maybe purchase Bitcoin every day, a little bit, maybe once a week. You can set it up, all that good stuff. Anyways, cheap loans probably go for 5.66, referring to the interest rates. Use the trash currency to pay your bills. It loses value. Good point. I'll pay in Pepe, says Drum Webb. New World Order with AI. Bought 110 ETH in 2017 for $7 each. Wow, was ETH only $7 back then? And sold it at 380. I wish I held on. Well, first and foremost, congratulations on your epic gain. I don't know what kind of percentage of gain that is, but it's pretty epic if you purchased for 7 and sold at 380. But yeah, if you could have hodled a few more years, family, ETH is now 2,500. So ouch. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. You'd have 6 times more wealth than you ended up with, but you live, you learn. Give us your overall thoughts on ICP. I know a lot of people on the channel are bullish on it. Everyone keeps saying it's the future. I don't have any insights on it because I didn't do my 10,000 hours of research on it like I've done Bitcoin. So I feel ignorant on the topic, so I don't discuss it. But according to the people in the chat, most of you guys love ICP and are bullish on it, so I have nothing negative to say, and I wish you tremendous success with it. You should have bought a house for what you paid for your pizza. Imagine 10 years ago, instead of putting down $20,000 for a down payment for a house, you instead got into Bitcoin. Yeah, let that sink in. A character who appears and likely, antidote commonly referred to as the sword of, an allusion to the imminent ever-present peril faced by the positions of power. Appreciate the insights there. I saw lots of Bitcoin channels. This one is the best. You're doing an outstanding job. Greatly appreciate that, Brian. Just doing my part. We survived being shadow banned on YouTube for years. I survived being terminated, getting my account back, and they apologized to me. So we've persevered all the storm. I was doing shows back when nobody was watching, and I just kept doing it, and it all worked out in the end because now we're the #1 daily Bitcoin podcast. We get over 400,000 downloads per month on iTunes and Spotify for the audio version of the pod, and the YouTube channel hit a record. We're now receiving over 700,000 views per month. So, and we're just getting started. So you already know, family. JV is a survivor. Yeah, I'm like a roach. You can keep trying to kill me, but I'll just keep coming back stronger. And in fact, it was after they terminated me, I doubled down and I put everything into this YouTube channel because I'm like, hey, I survived. I thought I'd never get my YouTube channel back. Now I'm going to go even harder. And lo and behold, now they can't get rid of me. So they tried. They lost, and JV's here for the long haul. Crypto News Alerts ain't going anywhere. We also have a backup channel. Of course, we're streaming live right now on Rumble. So if something ever happened to the YouTube channel again, make sure you're following me on Rumble because it's the uncensored version of the channel, and that will always be there, family. I appreciate all the support. Starting a Bitcoin show in a bear market is tough. Sure is. I started my YouTube channel in 2018. So 2018 was bear, 2019 was bear, and then 2020 we started the pumpage, the year of the halving. 2020 was lit, or 2021 we hit the all-time high. My channel grew to 50,000 subs. Then I was stuck at 50,000 subs for the next 2 years. And just recently, a couple of months ago, maybe 3-4 months ago actually, we started building momentum back after I was wrongfully terminated. And we came back strong and we ain't going nowhere. Wealth transfer was never going to be easy, but the time and logic will prevail. Are you a BitBoy? Oh, hell no. Don't refer to me as BitBoy. I'm sure as hell no BitBoy. I'm JV, the one and only, fam. I have JV on replay in the head. I appreciate that, Mr. Bone Daddy. I'm just trying to reprogram the mindset of people in this world so they can understand that there is a better way than the way we're taught and educated in school. Unfortunately, the educational system was designed by the Rockefeller Foundation to teach you to be good slaves at the end of the day. And you don't want to be a slave. You want to unplug from the matrix. We don't want to use CBDCs, programmable money, which could come with an expiration date. Hence why we Bitcoin. It's the way to unplug from the matrix. So if you're looking to unplug from the matrix and actually generate generational wealth for you and your family, look no further than BTC. can't terminate the Terminator. I like that. Most expensive Dell computer ever. Hey, ETFs just make the price of Bitcoin more solid every day. Amen. But anyways, fam, we're already 50 minutes into the stream. Keep pumping the likes, pump the stream. But let's dive into our next story of the day, discuss the latest with BlackRock and Larry Fink. Here we go. Headline reads, BlackRock drops their boomer Bitcoin ETF ad as marketing blitz ramps up. Let me know if you saw this 2-minute boomer ad. In my opinion, it's the worst yet, but then again, they're speaking to the boomers. We reacted to it live on yesterday's Rumble Reacts session. So if you missed it, you can check it out later. BlackRock may have gone with the boring ad campaign for its spot Bitcoin ETF, but it may just be the secret sauce for the wealthy boomer market, according to commentators. January 11th, investment giant BlackRock released its first video ad for its newly launched iShares Bitcoin Trust, IBIT. The ad consists of almost 2-minute video featuring a BlackRock executive. Almost sounded like AI to me, almost looked like someone who wasn't real, outlining Bitcoin's value proposition and how investors can receive exposure to the new ETF. Let me know your feedback on the ad. Now, Jay Jacobs, BlackRock's U.S. head of thematics and alternative ETFs, states in the ad that IBIT is easily accessible, conveniently removes operational burdens, and is issued under BlackRock's reputation and expertise in the ETF space. Commentators notice an intentional lack of flair and crypto jargon compared to the other Bitcoin ETF ads, as shared here. Amazing ads from the BlackRock on IBIT. The BlackRock Bitcoin Spot ETF, definitely a new market of investors, is reached through IBIT. This is how you market to rich boomers, folks. The calm disposition, easy to understand case, soft new age music, suit with no tie. Everything about it says it's okay now. And the adults are here. I find that hilarious. Anyways, Chris Stark, founder and managing partner of Fourth Turning Investments, referred to the advertisement as boring but brilliant because its apparent effectiveness in targeting the boomers. Quoting him here, "My God, this is a great boomer ad for BlackRock Bitcoin ETF. Absolutely everything that will drive the Bitcoin maxi is insane. The ad is so boring. It's brilliant for the intended audience." That's right, because when we did the React session to it yesterday, everyone said the ad sucked and was boring. So naturally, it was boring and it sucked, but it appeals to the baby boomers. Quoting Fred Krueger here, "My generation of wealthy boomers doesn't particularly like tattoo-covered Gen Xers telling them that the entire financial system needs to be scrapped, but they're happy now that they can invest in Bitcoin via traditional finance firms." Quoting them here, "We are happy adding IBIT and FBTC to our portfolios because we trust BlackRock and Fidelity. This is a Wall Street takeover of a Bitcoin narrative. Resistance will be futile. The Bitcoin ETF marketing war has been heating up since the first ad dropped from Bitwise December 18th with the most interesting man in the world. ETF issuers Hashtag and Van Eck released soon after. And then we had just recently ARK Invest and Grayscale released new advertising campaigns. We reacted to all of them exclusively on the Rumble channel family. If you missed it, you can check it out later. So Marty Party shares here. Valkyrie funds Bitcoin ETF ad live on the NASDAQ exchange billboard in New Times Square or in New York City. So let's freaking go. Meanwhile, several ETF issuers, including Van Eck, Invesco, Galaxy, Franklin Templeton, have featured the new Bitcoin ETFs on their homepages, while BlackRock and Fidelity Investments have reportedly done similar. So there you have it. Even Franklin Templeton, their new profile image on X is actually laser eyes of Benjamin Franklin, which is actually quite hilarious. Now check this out. Quoting Gaber Gerbax, "The Vanguard Group owns 8.2% of MicroStrategy, the second largest of all the holders. Somehow they find issues with Bitcoin ETFs. What this tells you is worse than Vanguard not liking Bitcoin. It tells you they're either liars, charlatans who haven't done their research, or both. Preach. Numbers don't lie. Here are the top holders and owners of MicroStrategy. Vanguard is number 2 at 1.1 million shares, meaning they own 8.24%. Capital International Investors has 1.5 million shares and owns 11%, followed by BlackRock at the number 3 spot with 906,000 shares owning 6.63%. So let that sink in. Crypto fam, I tell you, you can't listen to what these mofos say. They'll lie to your face. They're experts at deception. So that's why you got to watch what these mofos do. Good job, Jennifer. Shout out Jennifer. Gen X's, "Why are you lying out your mouth?" asked Keefe OG. "Are you referring to JV? Let me know." The ETF buyers will be heavily weighted. And also, family, don't shoot the messenger. Because when I start reading these stories and sharing these predictions, it's not like I make them up. I don't make this stuff up. I share it from the top sources. Like, for example, today's main story is, I think, the third largest asset manager in the entire world. Number 1 is BlackRock. Number 2 is Vanguard. Number 3 is Fidelity. $4.5 trillion asset manager. This doesn't come from me. So don't shoot the messenger unless you're just trigger happy and feel like shooting someone. Then it is what it is. What am I going to do? The ETF buyers will be heavily weighted towards buy and hodl. In other words, hodlers just tightens up the supply available to trade even more. Prices go up. Thank me later. There you go. Serge, I'm used to people thinking I'm crazy until I prove them wrong. Love it, Jennifer. We can all relate. Saudi funds are being transferred to the appropriate accounts to take Bitcoin to 75,000. It's official. Shout out Mohammed. We appreciate your insights, brother. And assalamu alaikum. Terrell, appreciate you subbing to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. Let's go. Appreciate that. Big ups, JV. Big up, the proof. Hey, fam, I'm ordering a Trezor now. Is the touchscreen one the best option? It's preference. I've tried them both out to experiment with them. Personally, I like the smaller Trezor 1 over the touchscreen just because I think smaller is more convenient. However, if you prefer a touchscreen, that's a great option. They're both fantastic wallets. They'll do the trick. Don't sell your Bitcoin, says Ben Silva. Yeah, I'm old school. BlackRock, you already know. Beware, BlackRock family, END. Very corrupt organization, have been for decades. Ain't nothing new there. What's your thoughts on the war going on around the world? How strong will it impact on the economy? Shout out to Bam Mall. Unfortunately, fiat money perpetuates war and violence. It's the people in power have all the money in the world. For Christ's sake, they can print unlimited amounts of money. So what's next when you have all the money in the world? Power, uncontrollable levels of power. And it's sad, and hence why there's always wars going on in the world. It's very profitable. It gives them power, gives them control, and it's very unfortunate. So I'm against war. I think it's all BS. I think it's all inside job type stuff going on. I think it sets up the poor people for death and destruction, and the wealthy become even more wealthy. This is how war works. It's all by design. It's not accident. Like, for example, I can't speak on behalf of other countries because I'm from America, but we all know 9/11 was an inside job. I think we can all agree on that. We wanted to invade Iraq and get the support of the Americans, so we pretend to have terrorists fly into the, you know what I mean? And we set this baby up. Not we, but the powers that be, unfortunately. And there was a lot of money in oil and stuff like this. They attacked our own, homeland. Tens of thousands of people died in the US, and then hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people died in Iraq. I think this is obviously war is a crime for all humanity. And I think there should be consequences for people starting wars. That's how I believe. That's what I believe personally. I'm never for war. I don't think violence solves any problems in our world. Violence just perpetuates more violence. Just like the war on drugs perpetuates more drug problems. And who's bringing in the drugs into the country? And I'm going to digress there because this is a heavily censored platform and JV don't want his channel to get terminated, but just keeping it 100. This is all by design, unfortunately. There's very corrupt mofos at the top, and they want destruction because they're trying to reduce the population. There's roughly 8 billion people. They'd prefer there only be 500 million people on the planet. So you have mass genocide playing out in real time, and I'll stop there. You gonna get this video taken down? Yeah. You just gotta keep it 100. I think this is common knowledge anyways. I don't think I'm shocking anyone right now. If you're a Bitcoiner, you're already in the know. That's just how it is. The Bitcoiners are like the 4% of the population. We get it. We understand the basis of what's going on, hence why we're Bitcoiners. People will FOMO after Bitcoin hits 50 Gs. This will be a huge run on Bitcoin after that. True, thank you. All seems true from the inside. Warcus 100, San Antonio, Texas, and cold. I hear it's cold out there, family. Peace for all, bro. Well said. Thank you. Palm Beach, Chris. War is never the answer. And any influencer justifying war, don't support them. Real talk. There's too many influencers perpetuating war because they're bought and paid for. For real, for real. The same influencers that were pushing the poison jabs are the same influencers pushing the war, trying to justify war. War is never the answer. Amen, JV. The baddest mofo you can be to reign in. No necessary war if you are a force of nature. No war under Trump, says Nigel. You are right. It's great when the tons of cocaine wash up on the beaches here, though. Right. Let's not forget Jamie Dimon, 20,000 tons of cocaine or something ridiculous. A JP Morgan Chase boat was seized with like 20,000 tons of cocaine. JP Morgan family. That's Jamie the Tapeworm Dimon for you. We get it. It was never the answer. What was consequently Russia starting the way to end the Ukraine. You can't sit by and watch evil take over. Amen. You got to speak out. I love how Bitcoiners all seem to share the same ideas in society. Yes, I love you, dude, already. Speak it all the way. See you. Appreciate you, Andy. Remember to get your no. Anyways, family, we still got a lot to cover. Let's dive into our next story of the day. We're going to discuss this 220,000 price target from Max Keiser, along with the latest mainstream FUD, which is going viral. And then we'll break down. I meant to switch it from 1 million prediction to 1 billion because we're going to be discussing realistically a $1 billion Bitcoin price prediction from Fidelity. But here's the latest of what's going on. Here's the headline: Bitcoin to 220,000. Max Keiser expects a price surge as Bitcoin sees a big new attack. So let's break this down. Now, Max also says this guy, who is the Vanguard CEO, Tim Buckley, delayed Bitcoin hitting 50,000 post ETFs by 2 weeks. So let's not forget, we're still heading towards our target of 50,000. Just a small delay thanks to the FUD coming out of Vanguard, who no love, no trust, no respect for this guy. If you're investing with Vanguard, I would look at moving your funds to another asset manager that actually supports BTC. Now here's, I don't even know this lady's name, Samantha Leduc, whatever you want to call her, but she's been spreading FUD. She wrote, here's my attempt to summarize key disagreements between TradeFi and Bitcoiners. There is no premium and scarcity just because it's limited, but this is the major claim that has been offered up by the Bitcoiners in both the respectful and disrespectful rebuttals in my busy feed for the past 24 hours. TradeFi gets that value is not just a sign, but just something is scarce. We assign even less value in Bitcoin given all the concentration risks of ownership, corrupt actors, Russia, China, charlatans, crime, and confiscations. But here's where TradeFi folks really align. Bitcoin is not money. Beyond the core monetary commodity, circulation attributes of money, actual money has to be measured in relation to demanded in kind of commodity or currency or asset. And it has to be forced on us by the government, an example, taxes and local FX. So why would we TradeFi folks en masse trade in-kind real assets for Bitcoin other than the disposable money because of Bitcoin's speculative properties? Bitcoin is a convertible currency with an equivalent value in real currency. The state does not force or enforce Bitcoin as a real currency, so it is not money. So we can trade it, transact with it where we can, but it is too much risk for the reward for those who have money. For those who need it, I agree, it is a powerful, effective payment system. Does that sound elitist or just realist? Speaking from a TradeFi perspective, Bitcoin is a great little alt investment to diversify returns from equities or otherwise, real estate, real commodities, even cash that earns interest, etc. But the main reason most TradeFi types have no interest in it because they don't need or trust get-rich schemes. And they know with these real power and money, how to take yours away. Sadly, if I was a betting woman, I wouldn't say this. I would say this to their tool to use against you, Bitcoin ETFs. I'm sorry, it's not fair. They suck. I am not being fascist. Maybe you will change the game by changing the players or the pieces, but until then, Bitcoin does not meet the definition of money. Regardless if the Bitcoin gospel writers have changed the definition of money or intrinsic value or ascribe Bitcoin with the characteristics of money, value, trust, scarcity, whatever. Bitcoin is rogue money. Damn right it's rogue money, which is on the opposite spectrum to sound money. Rogue money has a purpose, but not transformational power unless you change the state and get it to literally force upon us. In the meantime, Bitcoiners, feel free to treat crypto assets as a cause with a religion, but don't disrespect those who don't share your beliefs. Hashtag TradeFi. We can survive and thrive together. It's not all or nothing, but do study the strengths and weaknesses of your new weapon of change. For example, I can call my USD monopoly money because it can be printed, devalued, debased, de-dollarized, but it is still the tool that enables all the other tools, and 100% is monopoly money. Fake. I hope Bitcoin sticks around and grows more popular, but in its current form, to most in TradeFi, it is the opposite of sound money, especially if it trades cult-like behavior to make it grow. It needs the state to force it to use on everyone. That's what makes it money. And what are the Vegas odds for that? Especially since you disdain the state and the state disdains your rogueness. Final word. There are many here in TradeFi who don't dismiss you, but that doesn't mean we will ever convert to your gospel of Bitcoin or worship terms most you don't understand, like debasement. Seriously, how many of you ever knew this term existed before jumping on the Bitcoin train? Warning, this one term has become the calling card for enabling this cult-like separateness. Your rogueness is cool, but wishing and promoting bad things on your state is a really bad investment framework. To do so, you just separate yourselves from even farther away from the people in politics that will continue to label you and your money as rogue. Whoa. So Caitlin Long, oh boy, no progress, so many fallacies in what you just wrote. I wish you well. Robert Breedlove, imagine thinking that the defining characteristic of money is that the state must force its use upon users. Then on the basis, imagine how you can possibly explain how gold has persisted as money for over 5,000 years, despite us never being forced on anyone, its use. Finally, imagine how you can possibly justify the use and force in the sphere of money, which is a tool for consensual exchange. Like words and talking or actions in dating, you might as well say something as self-refuting as, well, it's not really a conversation unless someone forces you to participate, or, well, it's not really consensual sex unless sex is forced upon you. Now, clearly, he makes some fantastic points. So what are your thoughts regarding this FUD? And it goes on and on and on. I'm not going to read you any more from her because it's a bunch of BS at the end of the day. Samson responded, no wonder MSM takes are always wrong, 100%. And I think Max responded with a great post, and he tagged her and wrote, the state does not force or enforce Bitcoin as a real currency, so it is not money. My take, money existed before the state. Bitcoin separates money from state. Bitcoin will kill the state. Preach. The proof is El Salvador. Making Bitcoin legal tender is reinventing the state and creating a masterpiece of governance. Very well said. And then someone asked him 220,000 when? And Max said, now. What universe are you? So there you have it. And I'm actually going to dive a little deeper into this because it was actually quite interesting. So yeah, we discussed this lady LaDuke, or I'm going to call her LaDuck because, you know, if it looks like a duck, sounds like a duck, it's probably a duck, stating that it's rogue money and there's no premium and scarcity for Bitcoin. That's right. She also puts down the scarcity with a really idiotic point. The newly born Bitcoin critic LaDuck agreed that Bitcoin is convertible currency with an equivalent value in real currency, stressing that real currency, in her view, is not Bitcoin, but fiat, the monopoly money, to which Bitcoin can be exchanged at any time. Now, the main attribute of money per that is that it has to be forced or enforced on users by the government. However, according to her, the state does not force or enforce Bitcoin as a real currency, so therefore it is not money. She admits that Bitcoin can be traded and transacted, but she insists that Bitcoin is not money, except for those who does not have access to real money. Ho, ho, ho. For those who need it, I agree. It is powerful, effective payment system. Then she added that Bitcoin is rogue money. So she just like shoots herself in the foot. It makes no sense, which is the opposite spectrum of sound money. And it does not meet the definition of money. So, of course, Bitcoiners have responded, which I just pointed out to you. Here's a great feedback from Samson Mao. Serious question. If 1 year is measured in units of days and there are over 365 days and you can even divide them into minutes and seconds, how can they claim that time is valuable and that it only has a limited amount of it? Yeah, that's right, because she made some stupid argument, and I don't have it in front of me, but she claimed something like, well, 1 Bitcoin can be divided into 100 million Satoshis, so therefore Bitcoin is not scarce. And like, for real, you can't even make this stuff up. There's no logic or, reasoning. But anyways, just another mainstream fudster in my humble opinion. But what are your thoughts with Miss LaDuck? Let me know in the comments right down below. Rogue money. Sounds like a duck. Amen. Bitcoin all day. McLovin, what it do? We all need the strength of the dollar. How else can get rich with crypto? I have to exchange my profits to dollars to make it worth and buy what I want, or how would that work? Good question. I think eventually the dollar will collapse and maybe we'll only be comparing Bitcoin to gold. How about that? An ounce of gold of the Bitcoin price versus USD. Logic doesn't apply to this woman. Yeah, she's probably bought and paid for. They probably give her a script and she just copy paste it, in my opinion. What do you think? Because she makes no freaking sense. LaDouche, bada boom, bada bing. Well said. LaDuke. Is that how you pronounce it for real? Vare. I love that it is divisible. Is that what gives me hope? Exactly. Because if Bitcoin wasn't divisible, then it wouldn't be for the average individual. But it is divisible, so you can buy $5 worth of it right now. Smash buy, bada boom, bada bing. Quack, quack. Yeah, let me do my LeDuc impersonation. Bitcoin. There you go. Only thing I can say is repeal 19A. Sounds like the old Mother Goose. Ideally, we need a strong dollar and a strong Bitcoin. Ideally. What an idiot duck. Even if you divide the 21 million by 8 times for each zeros after, it's still limited amount. Schiff would love that. Maybe they should hook up Peter Schiff and LeDuc. What do you think? JV, you know how I feel about LeDuc? Dipshiz. F those losers telling us what money is, like Bitcoiners don't understand what real money is. Preach. Well said, family. Cheers to that.
It isn't slightly different. Bitcoin. Bitcoin. Right? Bitcoin's a bank in cyberspace. Everybody. And that's the only strategy.
Cheers, family. But anyways, let's now dive into our featured story of the day and discuss this bullish prediction coming from the third largest asset manager in the world, which is Fidelity. They made this prediction that Bitcoin is likely to reach $1 billion per coin. But I'm going to break down the timeline and all of this information. Here's the headline. Can Bitcoin achieve Fidelity's $1 billion prediction by 2038? What's your thoughts, fam? Let me know. Here we go. Fidelity's prediction for Bitcoin. We have Jurrien Timmer, the director of global macro at the $4.5 trillion asset management giant, put forth the notion that Bitcoin has the potential to reach a value of $1 billion per coin in roughly 2 decades, which is now, I think, 14 more years from now, from the time he says 2038. Yep, 14 more years, fam. Specifically around the year 2038. And to support the forecast, Timmer employed a combination of models and charts with a particular focus on the stock to flow and his own demand model. These analytical tools form the foundation of his primary prediction. And here you can see the Bitcoin supply and demand models. Now, the above demand model employs Metcalfe's law. And according to this, the number of its users grows linearly. A network's value, or by interference of the Bitcoin price, grows geometrically. This means that the utility and the adoption of Bitcoin are expected to grow more rapidly compared to its network of users, exchanges, ATMs, and participating retailers. Therefore, this model predicted that Bitcoin will reach 1 million per coin by 2030, which is pretty much in alignment with ARK Invest CEO, Kathy Wood. She says Bitcoin can reach a base case of 600,000 per coin, or 1 to 1.5 million in her bullish case, which we have covered here in the pod. Now, in contrast, Timmer's stock to flow supply model notes the event of significant price surges during each halving event. Consequently, when considering this model in conjunction with other factors, it foresees a price range of 1 million to 10 million per coin for Bitcoin by the year 2030, so even more bullish than the stock to flow. Timmer's demand model is more inclined towards reflecting the bottom of the Bitcoin price action. On the other hand, the stock to flow model seems to provide a better approximation for the peak of the king coin. However, it's worth noting that the disparity between these two models widens significantly beyond the year 2030. That's when things get interesting. The reason behind this gap is expected to be the changing value of the dollar. Precisely. So how changes in the dollar value could influence Bitcoin? Let's discuss it. Timmer proposes that the value of the dollar undergoes fluctuations over time when compared to other assets. For instance, if $1 was invested in stocks during the 18th century, its present-day value would be almost $4 billion. Similarly, Timmer applied that if just $1 million is invested today, it can grow to $1 billion in a span of 20 years. Can you say hyperinflation? This further revealed that the purchasing power of the dollar has significantly reduced due to factors like inflation and depreciation. Thus, Timmer's statement implied that keeping a fixed amount of dollars for many years may lead to reduced purchasing power due to the assets changing value. Now, over the last few years, an increasing number of companies are taking over the 1 trillion market cap. In fact, Bitcoin's now on the cusp of reclaiming that 1 trillion market cap, surpassing companies like Berkshire Hathaway, Meta, etc. As a result, it's foreseeable that in 20 years, the concept of $1 trillion valuation will become more common, so much that individuals themselves could be worth $1 trillion or more. The scale of numbers may even reach quadrillion range. That's right. Run the math. Anyone holding 1 million Bitcoin, when Bitcoin hits $1 million per coin, they're going to become the first trillionaire. So hypothetically speaking, Satoshi holds 1.1 million in his wallets. So Satoshi will be a trillionaire. If Bitcoin, or I should say if Max Keiser is really holding on to 1 million Bitcoin as some claim, then Max may become a trillionaire. MicroStrategy's goal is to hold 1 million Bitcoin. They're currently sitting on 200,000 Bitcoin. If they can reach their goal, then MicroStrategy will be worth over $1 trillion. And you already know Michael Saylor's loving it. So is this milestone still achievable for Bitcoin? Let's discuss it. Despite Bitcoin's historical growth, it has recently faced significant setbacks. Bitcoin's network activity has diminished, and it has fallen behind in comparison to Cardano network. For example, the number of active addresses in the Bitcoin market experienced a notable decline when compared to the levels seen in 2021. However, over the past couple of years, the addresses have been climbing in the Bitcoin network, reaching new all-time highs. Important to point out, hyper network activity, like increased transaction volume or active addresses, is viewed as a positive indicator of the growing adoption of Bitcoin, which continues to grow. Now, what are your thoughts on Timmer's $1 billion Bitcoin price prediction by the year 2038? Let me know in the comments right down below. Personally, I do feel the dollar will eventually say adios, amigos. I am out, and go to zero against Bitcoin. But clearly, they're going to replace the US dollar with CBDCs, which we all see coming down the pipeline. By what year will this be rolled out across the world? I don't know, but it's already in the pilot stages in many countries. It's already rolled out in China and other places of the world. I do know they're planning on using XRP, which is a bridge currency, to implement their CBDCs. So do you think CBDCs will take over potentially by the year 2025? Or do you think they'll need many more years to get this in the pipeline? How do you think the adoption will be worldwide? Do you think people will want to do this and not know any better? Or do you think they'll be enlightened by then and say, hey, no, thank you, CBDC. I'll stick with my BTC and my self-custody. Because think of it this way. Who wants programmable money with an expiration date? So for example, here's your stimulus. You have 6 months to spend it. And if you don't, it goes to zero. Oh yeah. And if your social credit score is below XYZ score level, you're not going to be able to travel. You can only spend it on this, that, or that. And guess what? You're not allowed to buy Bitcoin with our CBDC. They can program all of that. So if you don't trust the dollar, you should not trust the CBDC, because it's taken it to a whole new level of control and tyranny at the end of the day. So yes, the dollar will hyperinflate. There's no telling what Bitcoin's value will be in the year 2038. That's 14 years from now. It all depends upon the status of the dollar. So theoretically, he is right. Can Bitcoin really hit $1 billion per coin? Yes, but there's going to be hyperinflation. So $1 billion in the year 2038 may be like $10 million in today's money. So let that sink in. Let me know your thoughts, and I'm going to read some more of your comments out loud. So welcome to the live Q&A segment of the show. Love your show, says Valentine. I appreciate that. Why is no one talking about Pulse Chain, says Goody. Majorly, Bitcoin is pumping right now. Let's go. We're up 500 bones on the day. The only way CBDC will work is if they tie it to Tether, says Jennifer. The Bitcoin chart, and I already know the state hates Tether USDT, so they're not going to do that. They hate Bitcoin and they hate Tether. Any enemy of the state, I'm a fan of. I like Bitcoin. I like Tether. So there you go. You can also Dala Akbar. You don't want 1 billion BTC. Well, yeah, means society will be doomed. Only Bitcoiners will have any hope. Should I take my private pension out of the Vanguard and buy the biddies? Personally, I say, why support our oppressors? So personally, why support your oppressors? What do you think, family? Because it's a decision you got to make for yourself. Hit that like, fam. Thank you, Casey. I appreciate that.
And at the end of the day, you can tell everybody to go fuck themselves. You can put it in your head, memorize the freaking key, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, my Bitcoin, I lost it in a boating accident.
You already know, fam. Tether is from a Chinese company. Ask DJ Polarizer. I do know they set up shop in El Salvador, and I know Samson Mao plays a part behind it. I know the people behind it are good, real Bitcoin pro people. I know the founders of USDC, Circles Company, are anti-Bitcoin and working with the state. So I just know who the good guys and bad guys are. And in my opinion, Tether, USDT are the good guys. You know what I mean? The good people behind it. So I trust them. I trust the good people. And there's not a lot of good people in crypto. And I'll leave it at that. They are prepared for hyperinflation. That's a part of the GR, CBDCs for sure. Love the the Gigi chat, Gigi chat. Bukele 2024. That's right. I forgot I had the hat on. Yes, Bukele. Let's freaking go. You think Bitcoin 3638? All the internet say? It's possible, but I'm always on the bullish spectrum, especially going into a halving. So I think we're most likely going to hit 44, 45 versus 38. What do you guys think, though? I know it's possible, though, so don't get me wrong. Expect the unexpected. Anything is possible. I don't pretend to be Nostradamus or have a crystal ball where I can see into the future. I'll keep it 100. Bitcoin can go up or down. I'm just leaning always in the bullish direction because I understand Bitcoin. Do you use the Ledger wallet? How many here use Ledger? Let us know. I think there's superior wallets nowadays. So personally, I'd prefer a wallet without a backdoor and a wallet that is open source. Trezor is both open source and there's no backdoors. That's why you're fan JV, because I hate all those freedoms too. Fan against those freedoms, yes. It's looking like a down bit before up. We shall soon see, family. We're back in the green today. We have some predictions of 50,000 by tomorrow. Max says 50,000 in 2 weeks. He says that the Vanguard CEO derailed us. What are your thoughts? Elapal wallet. I get a lot of people recommending that one as well. Yes, Trezor's a great wallet. Shout out Fernando Santos. Appreciate you subbing. Trust number one, Smoking Man, the X-Files. People are not bullish enough. The dump's up. Trezor, better. Oh my God, says Serge. ICP to 50 Gs. Send it, Muhammad. The best hardware wallet is an offline Linux computer running Sparrow wallet with all the network adapters stripped out of it, says Jack Ono. They're trying to shake us all off, but don't be stupid and sell. Amen. You'll be regretting it. You will be regretting it. Earlier, someone in the chat mentioned in 2017, they bought Ether at $7 and then they sold it $250. If it would have held on another cycle, I mean, it's above 2,500. It'll probably hit 10,000 within the next year. So you run the math. The more you hodl, the more exponential your gains are going to be. You need to understand that. We're talking about one cycle, nice gains, 2 cycles, life-changing gains, 3 cycles, generational wealth. Like you just go from here to there. So do you have the balls and the patience to hodl for 3 cycles, which would be 12 years? Let me know, family. Can I get back my lost Bitcoin from 2020 with the Ledger? I don't think there's any way to get back lost Bitcoin. And how did you lose Bitcoin with the Ledger, fam? Let me know. BlackRock and Gambit will fork BTC. I don't see Tether and CBDC working as us. Don't want China to have say on the CBDC market. Does XR... And the China, the country, doesn't control Tether, family. There may be some Asian individuals involved in founding it, but doesn't mean it's China, FYI. That sounds like Solana's future too. I mean, don't be stupid. It's in plain sight, says Greedy. Does XRP pump? Will it get an ETF? I think XRP is overdue for a pump. Here's why. In 2017, when I entered crypto, it was the best performing asset of the top coins. It came out of nowhere and went top coin, right? It had the highest gains in comparison to everything, Bitcoin, ETH, you name it. Then from 2017 to now, it's been the worst performing top crypto token. And it's been now 6 years. So I like to believe it's long overdue for another pump. But what's going on? I saw some headlines today. They may have to pay a $3 billion settlement to the SEC. So even though the lawsuit is kind of over, they're still discussing like the payout for the gorgement or whatever they entitle it. So who knows? Some say it may be less than $1 billion. Some are saying they're going to have to pay $3 billion. Who knows? But my thoughts exactly, Joey. I'm not a fan of XRP simply because it promotes enslavement of humankind. And Bitcoin represents the total opposite. I'm a Bitcoinist at heart and a purist. So yeah, you already know. So if I had the opportunity, even if I think it's going to pump and go 100x, I don't invest in something. I don't support my oppressors. That's just, you know what I mean? That's just how I'm built. Keenan, I appreciate you subbing to the #1 Daily Bitcoin Pod. But yeah, don't matter how much money I could make. Like, I knew vaccines would kill it because I understood the evil plot was to vaccinate every human being. But it doesn't mean I was buying jab stocks, because I'm not going to support oppressors who are trying to destroy humanity and reduce the population, regardless how much money I can make from it. You know what I mean? That's just how I'm built. So same with crypto. There's a lot of projects out there that have evil intentions, but I know they're going to do well, but it doesn't mean I need to, support my oppressors. I only support Bitcoin because it represents freedom for humanity. It's decentralized, it's unconfiscatable, it's incorruptible. And I know I'm preaching to the choir. Gensler needs to be investigated. Preach, 100%. Plus XRP is a banker's coin. Correct. Bankers aren't my team. I'm not team banker, I'm anti-banker. So that's why I'm Bitcoiner. You know what I mean? Thank you for the comment. Also, the SEC wants more data. Thank you very much for the answer. You're welcome. I am late. All good, Navales. Welcome for the stream. Thanks to Mr. Burns, aka Mr. Gary Gensler. No Claire Gare. Everyone will go ballistic in the metaverse niche. Do you know this project? Which project we referring to? Metaverse is just a virtual space. We referring to Meta's metaverse. We referring to Sandbox's metaverse, Engine Coin's metaverse, Axie Infinity's metaverse. Whose metaverse are we talking about? HODL, don't stop. But in general, I think gaming is massive, and I think it was 2020 cycle where we hit the all-time high in 2021. Gaming was killing it. What is it called? My mind going blank. But yeah, gaming and freaking, what's the other niche that was killing it? NFTs. I don't know why I'm mixing up ETFs with NFTs. But yeah, NFTs were the big niche along with gaming. And I think it will continue to blow up for this cycle. But they also have the biggest pullbacks, clearly, in the bear market. So you got to keep that in mind as well. They can hard fork Bitcoin. Can someone hard fork open source blockchain? It is usually the devs or the miners that do the forks, I thought. Anyone can fork the chain, but will they get anyone to actually use it is the $1 million question. I don't think, you can judge for yourself, but the Satoshi Vision and Bitcoin Gold and Bitcoin Cash forks, they all seem to not be doing so great in comparison to the one and only genuine Bitcoin. Do you call yourself a moon boy? And shout out to Corey, appreciate the sub. Yeah, now that Mr. Charles Hoskinson, the founder of Cardano, was making fun of the Bitcoin moon boys, now I refer to myself as a moon boy, just to take that and rub it in their face. Yeah, why not? I am a moon boy. I think I am the most bullish channel on all of YouTube. And I've been bullish every single day of the bear market since 2018. Find another one. Moon boy as moonish as me. Keeping it real though, because I'm not easily persuaded from FUD. Most people see the FUD in the headlines. Oh no, Jamie Dimon doesn't believe in Bitcoin. Oh no, we should just sell. I'm just like laughing, like, for real? This actually works on people? Like, wow. F. Roger Veer. Thank God me, my wife, and my kids are not vaccinated of COVID. Who knows what the hell they're trying to do? I'll tell you what they're trying to do. They're trying to reduce the population and kill billions of people. And that's one way you do it. Sure is. George is moonish. Good to note. Missed my comment in question, Art Caffeine. Sorry if I did. Sometimes I get on rants, and when I'm ranting, I can't read the comments. I'm ranting myself. And then when I'm done ranting, I start reading comments. That's just how it is. Feel free to post the comment again, family. SEI, Solana, True, AZ. The cycle will blow up. Gaming, also big. Yeah, I'm a gamer. I got a PS5, me and my daughter. So I like gaming, so I would imagine the rest of the world does. And when I was a kid, there's nothing I love more than video games. I had a PS1, PS2, and I would just play video games all day. So you already know. And there's a new Tekken. I think there's like a Tekken 9 coming out in February. So you already know, family. Even my pets are moonish. Love to hear it. Yeah, to the moon. AFK, facts, Andy, truth. Cheers. But anyways, family, we've been streaming now for 90 minutes. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue with the uncensored version of the show because JV has to be very selective with what he talks about here on the tube. Shout out to Kevin Puetz. I appreciate the sub, family. So if you don't know and you're new to the channel, first and foremost, make sure you're subbed because this is the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. I'm here 7 days a week. Number 2, we're streaming simultaneous right now on Rumble as well as YouTube. So the YouTube stream is about to end. We shall continue with the uncensored version of the show, exclusive on Rumble. My Rumble link is always in the description, or you can visit rumble.cryptonewsalerts.net, or simply open the Rumble app on your phone and just type in Crypto News Alerts. You'll see the live stream. We're going to be doing a react session to some new clips I have lined up. It's always fun, so I invite you to join us, and I'll be back here 9 p.m. Eastern on YouTube for the edited version of today's live. We're going to take this 90-minute stream and condense it down to 30 minutes of pure content, and I'll be premiering it with you in the live chat. That'll be at 9 p.m. Eastern. Looking forward to that, so be sure to come back. But in the meantime, let's all head on over to Rumble, and let's get ready to rumble. Shall we, fam? And it's been fun. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate all the likes. See you on Rumble. Peace.